Welcome back to Saturday Social, where we are joined by Zach and Abs. Now, Joe, before the break, we had a little montage, lovely little montage, wasn't it, of some of the best wingers in the Premier League. Because there have been some pretty incredible performances, most notably maybe Doku last week. And I think Gary Neville gave him man of the match very early, certainly, wasn't it? So it gave us a little task for Abs today, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is really, really difficult. We've asked Abs to put together his 10 best wingers in the Premier League based only on this season. So we're not looking at historical, we're not looking at how many trophies they've won in the past, how many goals they've scored throughout their career. This season, on form, who have been the 10 best and in order. So we're going to go reverse order from 10 up to 1. I think there's a couple of honourable mentions you want to shout out before we get into the 10?
So these are ones that didn't make your 10,
yes, that didn't make the 10 that I want to speak about.
Okay.
Amad Diallo, my boy. This is just out. This is from the heart right now. It's obviously we couldn't make a wingers one really because he's been playing wing back, as you know. He's been defending the back post. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things he's been asked to do that maybe you wouldn't typically ask Amad Diallo to do. But isn't he so fun to watch when he has the ball at his feet? The jinks, the shoulder drops. Oh, Ivorian Messi. That's what Amad Diallo is for all Man United fans. So I wanted to give him a bit of a shout. This was a bit of a different shout because I watched Gakpo in the Community Shield against Crystal Palace. And I thought when he was linking up with Wirtz and Ekitike, and I was like, hey, we might be seeing something from Gakpo. And we already know how hard defensively he works for Liverpool. He's disappointed me this season. So it's a different kind of, you could have made this top 10 list if you kept up that level of performance. But you've disappointed me this season. Sorry, sir. You won't be making my top 10. That is what that was for Gakpo. But let us get started.
Let's start 10.
It isn't going to start with a bigger name, this list. Mohamed Salah.
At 10.
And I thought it would almost be a bigger statement to put him at 10th than have him miss out on the list. Because some people could argue, and I think they quite fairly, that he probably should miss out on this list. He is the reason why Liverpool won the league last year. 70% of their goals all of last season were scored by Mohamed Salah. This season, he has been, for want of a better word, dreadful for Liverpool. I'm sorry.
Is that hard?
No, I don't think it's hard.
He's got 7 goal involvements.
I know that a lot of Liverpool fans might say he's not at the level he was last season, but I think dreadful is an oversight. You've got to bear in mind, he's still scored 4 Premier League goals, he scored a Champions League goal, he's got 3 assists in the Premier League. His actual numbers are still pretty decent. Are you comparing him to the Mo Salah of previous seasons? Is that what's happening?
You always have to.
I think dreadful is a bit harsh.
Let me explain why. And this is something that I'm going to continue throughout this list. We can look at the output of players, but for me, with wingers, I have to look at the performance that you're putting on the football pitch. Am I supplementing the players around me? Is my creativity that's important in the game? Mohamed Salah there's been none of that this season. And yes, I am comparing him to his standards. Why? Because he has shown us that standards for how many years in the Premier League so far. He's been getting you all of those goals, and that is why the output will always be there. We will not have a conversation about Salah where we say his stats have not been good enough. Because he will always be someone that scores that goal. And the Bournemouth game comes to mind as well, where Chiesa's got the huge winner and all of the applause is there. Salah still gets his goal. He will find a way to get his goal and impact the game, which cannot be understated. But performance level, brothers, this guy, the ball's been bouncing off him way too much this season, and it hasn't. And that's been something I think has been overstated in seasons past, because it almost feels like every season with Salah he adds something new. He adds a new weapon into it, so he has shown creativity. But this season, Zach, it hasn't been good enough.
I do tend to agree, and also the one thing as well, Salah isn't necessarily helping out defensively, and if he's not doing what he normally does going forward as well as he does, and with the changes obviously at right back and Liverpool really struggling on that side. That he isn't helping towards them being shored up too. So I do think, I would have maybe not even included him on the 10 for this season.
Okay,
I think fair.
great.
I think that's very fair.
Number 9. Who is the 9th best winger this season for you?
Interesting. I think this, and I want to hear your opinion on this as well.
Well
Zach.
done,
I
mate.
think this is... That's your opinion on this
Zach
one.
wants him on 1.
Let's
get in there, lads.
But this, actually, interestingly, is I think what Amad Diallo would look like if he was playing on the right wing. I think there's a lot of similarities between the players, and I think he's been a breath of fresh air, Esteban.
I love this man.
It's just the feet are unbelievable. He is so devastating on the right-hand side. These are grown men, and this guy, he's a boy. He still is a boy.
18.
But he's unbelievable, just the flair that he has on the full pitch. I'm sure Zach can speak a lot about it. Talk to me, Zach.
Talk to me about his ceiling.
We could be looking at some player here, guys. Seriously. We don't, you hear all the classic things of he's the Brazilian Messi, he's the next Neymar, and we see this stuff and we hear this stuff okay, let's actually see it. we are seeing this already. Like I see a lot of
Neymar
criticism.
and Messi levels?
No. We're seeing him perform very well at a very young age with high potential.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of criticism for maybe how Maresca's handled him. I think he's actually handled him really well. Like, not just chucking him in, like giving him a little bit of minutes here and there, playing him in the Champions League, playing him in the league, coming off the bench. He's somebody who I think already teams are. If you're in the 60th minute. And okay, Pedro Neto, who's been running at you all game, is coming off, and on comes Esteval. And you think, oh my Lord, how am I meant to deal with this? I really do think we're in 2 years' time, we're going to sit here and talk about how Esteval is one of, if not the best winger in the league. Like, he's got everything to his game. He can get you goals. He can be super creative. We've already witnessed this on the pitch for Chelsea.
Big goals as well.
Big goals against Liverpool, that last minute
goal.
one. And seeing how he develops with the team and how he develops with, say, Cole Palmer in that side and other players around him, this boy will be at number one in 2 years.
Wow, okay.
8. Smithy's
Number
nappy
8.
this one.
Oh, sorry,
Kudus.
Smithy. Sorry,
Is that
Smithy.
a bit low for Kudus?
I'll say sorry from now.
Okay.
But one thing I will say, and this is from playing against Spurs recently, I think your attack is very poor. I genuinely think it's
But I think
very
perspective
poor.
is needed with that. We've got, I think, 56 goal contributions from last season out of the team, with some being sold, Maddison not playing a minute, Kulusevski not playing a minute, Solanke being out. You've got your 4 biggest goal contributors all not playing.
There was a but
and I
coming
think with
now.
the third highest scorers
There
in the
was a
league.
but
So
coming
there's
now.
perspective.
Trust me,
I've got all the
Smithy,
stats.
there
don't
was
worry.
a-
But
there was
I
a
know what
but
you're saying.
coming.
I do hear what you're saying.
Especially because that United game they were missing Mohamed Kudus.
Yeah.
And I think what he gives to that Spurs attack, especially as a specialist. I think a little bit, and you might agree with this as well. Sometimes you get with Spurs that there'll be a player that comes on in the 60th minute and does really well.
Yeah.
And then when he starts the next game, it's not so well. And I
Saw
feel like
Odegaard, didn't we, against
Odegaard was
United?
unbelievable
Yeah.
against us, but you'll see maybe other games where he starts, it isn't quite there as well. And you have a couple of profiles that aren't necessarily wingers, they're forwards. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a winger. This is someone that will take on his fullback. Some of the sometimes little moments in games you always remember as well.
joke.
Some of the touches he does when he receives the ball from that long thing, if it's Van der Ven or someone switched the play to him, is unbelievable. But more than that, his creativity has really impressed me this season as well.
Yeah.
He's got, I think, a couple of assists this season, right?
4 assists, only 3
assists.
players in the league with 4 assists, most completed dribbles in the entire Premier League as well. I think he's coming so quickly as a new signing.
He's class.
As well.
And it's plug and play. You get and even from
I agree,
West Ham,
I think 8's a bit low.
you'll see why.
Okay.
No, you'll see. Just bear with me.
To be fair, good shout. I was singing his praises a few weeks back. I think Sarr has been I'm going to call him an underrated player for a few years now. And his underlying numbers prove that. And big game player as well. Loves a goal against Liverpool, doesn't he?
I think out of every single name I'm going to mention on this list, this is the hardest player to play against. He doesn't stop running throughout 90 minutes. And when you have a striker like Mateta, for example, you have to have that gamble about you. Be able to smell where the ball's going to land. Where's he going to win the flick on? I think he's off the ball, runs so much.
Yeah.
And also, he's a bit more of an inside forward because obviously Glasner plays that the five at the back system. So he's an inside forward there. He's a brilliant finisher as well. I saw that Community Shield at Wembley with my own eyes as well.
Same, yeah.
So one chance there, finds a goal out of nowhere. And I think he's been really good this season. Got a couple of goals as well.
Yeah, I think he could be.
I think it depends.
winger, I
'cause-
think.
He is
because
the
when
he's
you-
the top scoring winger in all comps of anyone on this list.
Yeah, you'll see
season.
the other names, and I think it becomes a little bit tougher to rank him against them. What I love is that we've seen him when he came in last season. He started slowly. He started slowly. People were questioning the move. Why did they go for him? And now it's so funny about how if you give these players time and under a manager who's really going to appreciate them and get the best out of them, we're seeing him flying. Maybe you could put him 5th. Maybe you could put him 4th. Sure, but I don't think it's like, again.
You're right. We haven't seen the names that are coming.
The next one's going to cause some controversy.
Why'd you say so?
Well, I think Bukayo Saka, even though he isn't scoring as many goals as we've seen him score in the past, his effectiveness on the flank for Arsenal, for me, he would still be for sure part of my top 3 wingers in the
I
Premier League
think
this season.
the only thing is that is
To have him
based on.
6th.
The only thing there's 5 players I think that have outperformed him this season. It's not about being like, and that's actually something I wanted to mention. You actually took one of my points. Saka isn't necessarily GA. You won't look at the goals and the assists. It's the influence that he has on the football pitch. The fact that he drags a team completely over to his side, and Arsenal have maybe yet to find that on the left-hand side. Although one of my honourable mentions actually could have been Trossard as well, because he has started to take advantage of Saka's influence on the pitch. But what he is for me, I say what's unnatural about Saka is how often he does the best decision. Like, it's ridiculous. His touch is almost perfect.
Five
inside,
wingers
outside.
you think have been better than Bukayo Saka this season?
Performing better than him this season, and you will see those 5 actually right now.
I think, yeah.
Should we get Zach's take on this?
Tough.
Zach,
Again, maybe I'd cap him into 4 for him. However, we've got to remember he was injured for a part of the season as well at the start of it. That's where we saw Noni Madueke play so well at the start too. And so maybe I think that kind of, if we're looking at just this season, has he played the full amount that he might need to?
Exactly. Noni started
exactly.
this season as well,
And then.
I mean, he started 8 Premier League games, 14 in all competitions.
Yeah, it's fine. Like that's what I mean. It's absolutely fine. I think
headline,
there's one player who I think you're about to mention next where I'd be like, I think he is above him for sure.
Okay.
But
let's go.
I'll let you go to him.
So number 5, who you got?
This is the player with the most amount of chances created from open play, Jack Grealish, who's also got 4 assists this season as well. He won Player of the Month. I want to say September.
August, I think it was.
August. Okay.
Yeah.
First month.
I think I'm so happy to just see him at another club, out of City, smiling, happy, because we all fell in love with Villa Grealish.
Yeah.
We all did. And that was the maverick player that we saw for a smaller kind of club. And I think he really has captured that again at Everton as well. When you watch him, the creativity-wise, you mentioned Kudus as well. That's probably the other one that's rivaling him as well. Creativity from Jack Grealish has been unbelievable this season and has had such a huge impact for Everton. And if we look at someone like Bukayo Saka as well, who's the Arsenal team is really... We look at the Arsenal team and we see how strong they are defensively almost first. And we worry about maybe the open play goals. That most amount of chances created from open play this season has been by the man, Jack Grealish. Wow. Thank you so much, Jack.
Wow. Okay, up to 4.
And he is being joined by his teammate, Iliman Ndiaye.
Wow.
And before I touch on the player, I want to touch on the story. Yes. Because me and Zach were talking about this off camera as well. Watching him at Rising Ballers, in what is only like 6 years ago, on YouTube, to see this guy being, for me, he might be my favourite winger. Like, it may not perform the best, like just watching him and to watch, he is that winger that gets you off your seat.
I know what you mean by that.
People pay tickets.
You do come off your seat when you watch him, don't you?
If I had to pay to watch one winger in the league, it might just have to be Iliman Ndiaye. The ball control is absolutely ridiculous. It's unbelievable to watch and has actually grown as well. And this is something as well, just with wingers in general. Young wingers, sometimes they're questioned about the end product as well, which I think can be overstated sometimes as well. Why? Because they're young. And they will develop into players that the importance of them, the importance of output is more important for them. Like if their coaches tell them how important it is to win games, and then be like the Mohamed Salahs of the world and people who are so important for their team. But talent, get you off your feet. Iliman Ndiaye.
He is fantastic. I actually think, not to go and start trying to sell Everton's players, but I think he could genuinely be on for a big move in the summer. He's somebody that gives you so much. His ability to make something out of nothing, to beat not just one defender, like 3 defenders in a row. We've all seen those clips. Yeah, exactly. He's somebody that I think a lot of teams, and his ability also to play in several different positions, he can kind of do it all over that front line. He's fantastic.
Yeah, I love watching him play. Let's go on to the big top 3 then.
You speak about selling players to big teams.
Yeah.
Anton Semenyo.
I think this is low, mate.
He can't be 3rd.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Actually, no, I'll tell you why in the next 2 players. But let's talk about... No, I don't think he's got to be 1. But I think he's unbelievable. And let's talk about why he's good, guys, first, before we talk about what position he is in the top 10. Do you mind? Let's give him
just
his
6 goals and 3 assists in the Premier League.
No, obviously, his output's been unbelievable. He's so gifted on both feet. He is just... I feel like he'd be a nightmare to play against as well, just because he can take you outside, he can take you inside as well. I just think in terms of this season, there have been, obviously, only 2 players that I think could edge him just in maybe... Like, I actually want to bring up the next player as well, because this was between 2 and 3 for me as well. I look at the efficiency that Mbeumo has shown for Man United, and maybe this is having to see him at a big club as well, for him to have that pressure on him a little bit as well, because he's the main man at Bournemouth. There isn't a doubt about that, and he is unbelievably gifted. But the reason why I might pick an Mbeumo over him is just based on it looks like Mbeumo the efficiency is almost always there. You're gonna get 1 chance in a game. He's going to get you a goal. And that reliability is probably, and this was so tough. This is very, very close for me. But I have just gone with Mbeumo over Semenyo.
Where do you stand on this debate, Zach?
I think with Anton Semenyo over the last year and a half, coming up to 2 years now, he is on some hot streak. Like just consistently proving, stepping up for Bournemouth. I think he is the guy that Bournemouth are making chances to get it to Semenyo to finish it off. He's the guy that is able to be so lethal, to play on the counter, whatever it may be. I mean, obviously, Iriola's doing such an amazing job there, but he is focusing it around getting Semenyo in the best opportunities. I actually kind of agree with Mbeumo. Like, Mbeumo has been fantastic for United. It might have taken him 1 or 2 games to get into that role, but this is a United side, remember, who were so bad last season, especially going forward, and needed help. Bryan Mbeumo, look, a lot of money was spent on him. I think there's a lot of people that might have said it took him a little bit too long to get into this form, but he's in that form now, and he's just. I think you're so right about the efficiency point. Again, if it was the other way around, fine.
Okay, it's your list.
I will just add to this as well. Like, United have been missing a proper right-hand side presence. I'm sure Joe will tell you as well, for how many years? Since maybe
he's been incredible. He has been incredible.
Ronaldo, but it's like he's been so, like that efficiency, the creativity isn't spoken about as well. He's got this lovely cross that he does towards that back post. That's been obviously and the goal scoring. He finds himself in areas that
recently as well.
Smithy will know as well.
Yeah, do you know what? His record against Tottenham is unbelievable. I do know about it. All too well. That's why I wanted to buy him. So stop scoring against him. Six goal involvements his last 8 games for club and country.
On fire right now.
Both are on great.
And that
form.
leaves number 1. This.
It's a big
some
one.
People are going to say this is recency bias, but I think what he's shown me this season, Jeremy Doku, is something that I actually didn't know he had in his locker, which is him playing in central areas. Because we've seen this new kind of Pep system where the fullbacks are given a lot more license and space to drive into, and they're really packing the middle, right? Jeremy Doku has been sensational at just driving through the heart of teams and causing havoc in the centre of the pitch. And I didn't actually know that he had that in his locker. We all remember when we saw him for Belgium, this is something that he's had forever. That 1v1, if he faces you, you're done. There isn't, if you're a fullback, every fullback, no matter what your name is, how good you are, you're going to be ripped by Jeremy Doku. But that plus, in central areas, the creativity he's shown has impressed me unbelievably. And for me, right now, he's the best winger in the league.
Would you have had Doku as the best winger in the league this season?
I think Doku would have been a bit low for me.
Okay.
And quite a bit lower.
Who's your number 1? Where would you have had him?
I think Doku, could probably be like 7th. Ooh. I don't know if I would have had Grealish as high as well. I think Grealish would have been maybe towards 9th, and then everyone kind of moves up 1. Saka comes to 5th. Iliman and maybe him and Saka are around the same place. Semenyo, I think these 2 being your number 1 or 2 would be absolutely fine. In either order,
I agree.
I
agree.
Yeah, it's fine. I'd say maybe Semenyo number 1 is the one. But
should we give some honourable mentions? Trossard, by the way, 8 goals and assists this season.
You did call about, didn't you? I think Trossard definitely valuable, Michelle.
What about Alejandro Garnacho?
Yeah,
Garnacho.
Would he be Chelsea?
I think he'd be in my genuinely. Like I'd say, I think he adds a directness to Chelsea that they didn't have, and a lot of criticism goes to him for. Maybe how his time in the last season with United went. But I think I'd have him in this 10. Like, if I got Salah there, I'd say for this season.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Let us know what you think. Would you have had Garnacho in this 10? That is Ab's list of the 10 best Premier League wingers this season.